Are you wondering how much Korean you need to know before going to Korea? Watch this video. Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Floriesha and I studied abroad in South Korea for 6 months, and I was able to navigate Korea independently without needing a native Korean or needing people who spoke Korean. I was able to order alone at restaurants, I was able to navigate Seoul alone, and even have a little bit of small conversation with native Koreans. I'm going to be sharing phrases, tips, and information that you need to know so you can have a similar experience to mine. So whether you're studying abroad in Korea for a semester or a year, visiting or traveling, this video is for you. So the first thing that you need to learn is hangul. With the Korean alphabet, you're able to read menus, signs, anything that is in hangul, you're able to at least pronounce it and try to piece together like what it could possibly be saying. Because I knew the Korean alphabet when I went to Korean convenience stores, I was able to read the label and I was like, oh wait, this is like lavender soap, or this is like tuna, or like this is a hamburger, or this is a sandwich. I'm not sure if this is the right terminology to use, but I feel like there's a lot of like Konglish or like words in Korean that are pronounced similar to the ways in which it is in English. So the word pasta in English is pasta, or like the word coffee is kopi, or latte is latte. I don't know why I'm blushing. When you read it, you're like, oh, pasta. Like you're like a baby and you're pronouncing it. You're like, oh wait, I understand what this is. Another huge benefit of knowing hangul is like I wasn't dependent on anyone. I wasn't like, oh, I need a Korean friend to navigate Korea, or I wasn't like, oh, I need someone who speaks Korean to help me navigate Korea. And so knowing hangul can allow you to just be your boss like when you're there, whether you're alone, whether you're traveling with friends, or whether you guys want to like, I don't know, just do what you want to do. Knowing Korean or knowing the Korean alphabet allows you to have autonomy over your experience and where you want to go, rather than be like, oh, I can't go somewhere unless someone else goes with me. When you know words like 감사합니다 or 안녕하세요, Koreans love that. There's not one time where I just said like 안녕하세요 and like my taxi driver was like, wow. And like he was just so sweet to me. He was like, oh my god, you speak Korean so well in Korean. And I was like, no sir, all I said was like hi. And he was like, no, like that's really good. And so I feel like Koreans really appreciate the effort, even if it's like bare minimum. I think that they just take so much pride in their language, and so it's such a welcoming feeling or gesture to know that someone outside of their country took the effort to learn hi, goodbye, and thank you. So now I'm going to be sharing some resources or ways in which I practice my Korean. Even till this day, I'm still using some of these resources. I found this YouTuber, his name is Pronounced Korean. He has a video on Korean money and also the Korean alphabet, which I highly recommend for you guys to watch. Pronounced Korean, the creator, he takes his time and he enunciates things and he has pictures, and it's just super like effective, like it works. So there's also tuida, hopefully I'm saying it right. So I love tuida. Their lessons teach you Korean through real life situations. So instead of just learning random vocab, the lessons are built around specific moments, like how to order food at a cafe, or situations where you're introducing yourself to someone and you need key phrases in Korean to know how to do that. So it's super practical and it makes you feel prepared for day-to-day situations. And a lot of its features are free, so you don't have to pay. They do have like a premium version of the app, but you don't really need the premium. The basic free lessons that they have there is just enough. The last resource that I love to rely on is Talk to Me in Korean. You probably already watch a lot of videos from Talk to Me in Korean. I love what they stand for. I love how they are cultivating community through language learning, but they just have so many good resources that are free that you don't have to pay for. And I'll link a couple of videos that I suggest that you watch if you want to learn a couple of phrases in Korean prior to going there. But they have books, they have a podcast, they have an app, like they have so many platforms where you can learn. Now I'm going to be going over basic must-know phrases that you need to know before you go to Korea. And before you even start, don't come for me my pronunciation. As you are learning, I'm still learning, and so my pronunciation may not be like superb, but like it's okay, you know, it's okay. So, hello and goodbye. Hello, 안녕하세요, goodbye. Well, there's two ways to say goodbye. If you are leaving a party and they're staying, you would say 안녕히 계세요. If you were staying and people were leaving, there was a party leaving, you were telling them goodbye, you would say 안녕히 가세요. Now there's also nice to meet you, which you can say 반가워요. And then yes and no, which is really basic. I feel like everyone knows this one. Yes, 네, or 네, and then no, 아니, 아니요. So thank you in Korean, everyone knows 감사합니다 or 고마워요 or 고마워. So if you're new to Korean, there's 반말, which is like casual speaking, and there's 존댓말, which is formal way of speaking. The most respectful and formal way to say thank you is 감사합니다. So I honestly would just always pick the most formal way to speak to someone, just so that you're not disrespecting someone and you don't even know that you are. Like, you want to just like prevent that in general. So to say sorry, you could say 죄송합니다 or 미안합니다. You can also say 미안해요. And then to say excuse me, you could say 저기요 or 실례하지만. If you want to say I want this, you can say 이거 주세요. Like, you point at it and you say 이거 주세요, which is like this I want. And then if you want to ask how much something is, you say 얼마예요. Like 이거 얼마예요. You point at the 이거, which is like this. 얼마예요. 얼마예요 is how much is it. This, how much is it. But if you're at a restaurant and you want to give quantity, let's say you're at a cafe and you're ordering an iced americano, you can say americano 하나 주세요, which means just like americano, one please. And on the topic of like dishes, when you're ordering at cafes or restaurants, I feel like it's super helpful if you memorize how to spell your favorite Korean dishes in hangul so that you can recognize them, but also like learning how to say the pronunciation of them. If you can't see it on the menu, you can be like, oh, bibimbap 주세요, bibimbap 하나 주세요. Like, you know, you can just like say it so like the waiter can understand what you're saying. You can know what samgyeopsal looks like, or what 족발 looks like, or bossam looks like, or whatever looks like when it's like in hangul, or you could just like say it to someone. I feel like that to me made a huge difference in my experience, because I was like, oh yeah, I want hot dog. Oh yeah, I want samgyeopkimbap. Oh yeah, I want kimchi. Oh, it was like easy. Knowing how to identify something with your eyes and like say it in Korean, I feel like it's like also very, very helpful. So like try to memorize the hangul of your favorite Korean dishes, but also just like learn how to say them out loud so that you can also communicate it to other people. I also wanted to give you guys a quick heads up. Sometimes when I went to restaurants or cafes and they had a kiosk, some of them didn't have like a translation like option. So I would be looking at it purely in Korean. I sometimes would just eat off of my eyes and choose an option based off like what looked really good to me. But I also did have like Google Translate, like the live translation that I would like use, and I put my iPhone over the kiosk and then like I would like actively translate it. Apparently a lot of Koreans say not to use Google Translate because it's wrong. I feel like if you have Papago is a great app. Like, I used Papago so much when I was in Korea. I'm not sure if they have a live translation. I'll probably like research whether it does like after this video, and I'll like probably put yes or no somewhere on the screen. But use that app, or you can also use Naver Dictionary or just like Naver in general for learning words or like learning how to translate words in Korean. If you want to say here please, you can say 여기요 주세요. And then if you're trying to ask where something is, you can say blank 어디에 있어요. If you want to know where the Sinchon train station is, you would say like 신촌역 어디에 있어요. Put the place that you're looking for before the 어디에 있어요, okay? If you want to use the bathroom, you would say 화장실, which is like bathroom. 화장실 어디에 있어요. So I think words that you should know are like bus stop. So bus stop is 버스 정류장. Bathroom is 화장실. 화장실. Train station is 기차역, but like 기차 just means like train. 역 means like station. If you're looking for a specific area like Sinchon, Seongsu, Gangnam, Hongdae, Itaewon, you would say like 이태원역 어디에 있어요. Like if you're trying to say restaurant, some people use like 집, like chicken 집. You can use, I think people say chicken 집, or you can say 식당, another word that people use commonly to say like restaurants. Now I'm going to be showing phrases that you need to know to help introduce yourself. The basic way to introduce yourself is by saying my name is blank. I would say 저는 floriesha입니다. Sometimes people love to create their own Korean name. If you're trying to say I'm a student, you say 학생입니다. So if you want to say I'm a traveler, I think it's 저는 여행객입니다. Or you can say 저는 여행자입니다. A common word that's used to describe foreigners is 외국. So just so that you know. Now if you want to say I am from, or I am this person, you can say 저는 미국 사람입니다. If you're from England, 영국입니다. 저는 영국입니다. If you're from Japan, you say 저는 일본 사람이에요. So find out what the Korean word is for your country and put that there. If you're trying to say how old you are, so you would say 저는, whatever the word is, like for however old that you are, 살이에요. So I'm 24, so I would say 저는 24살이에요, which means I am 24. You can learn like all of the native Korean numbers. You don't necessarily have to. You can just simply memorize how to say your age in Korean. That's what I did, because sometimes I would forget the native Korean numbers and the Sino-Korean numbers, and I don't feel like explaining that in a video. If you want to know the difference between native and Sino, definitely go check out professional Korean teachers. They'll be able to explain it a lot better than I can. You can just simply memorize the number, like how to say it, and just so that you can say I am blank years old. If you want to say I don't speak Korean well, you can say 한국어를 잘 못해요. You can also say 아직 한국어를 잘 못해요, which means I don't speak Korean well yet. Now, if you want to tell someone, please speak slowly, I usually say 천천히 말해주세요. I always go like 천천히 말해주세요, like just a little slower so that I can understand. So again, just to reiterate, I am not a professional Korean teacher. I'm just telling you, foreigner to foreigner, traveler to traveler, okay? Definitely go check out the videos from those who are professional Korean teachers if you want to further enhance your learning around like key phrases you need. So now I'm going to be talking about Korean mannerisms and social norms that you should know before going. So in Korea, it's very respectful to receive things with two hands. Always. You can watch K-dramas or watch other videos on how to do that, but just like receiving things with two hands. You can put your hands like this, like that. I'm struggling, but like that to receive something is very respectful, and I think Koreans really appreciate it. Bowing to greet people when you enter places and when you meet someone, super respectful. Also the turning of head, like turning your head when you're drinking with someone who's older than you. Sometimes I feel like Koreans give like a free pass to foreigners because like you're new to the country or you're like new to the culture. But even if you can, like remembering to turn away from an elder or superiority wise to just for respect. The most important thing is like staying quiet on public transportation. In my opinion, I didn't see much foreigners talking, or like not even just foreigners, like Koreans period, being super loud or disruptive on public transportation. So just like keeping your voice to like inside voice, there's just like minimum, or like not speaking at all, is a way of being cognizant and respectful in public spaces. Also, no jaywalking. Everyone in Boston jaywalks. I jaywalked yesterday. Actually, I jaywalked today. Okay, so no jaywalking in Korea. No one just walks when it's like green for a certain way of the traffic. Like, don't do that. I feel like you can probably get hit. Oh no, you will get hit and people will look at you different, okay? Just wait for that sign, that little sign that they have to go, okay? It doesn't matter if there is no cars in the street, right? Just wait. Just wait for your sake and for my sake, okay? Because people would give you crazy eyes, but also for your safety, no jaywalking. Also, I would say that in Korea, people typically like minded their own business. Like, I mean, like, yes, because I was a Black woman navigating Korea, I did get stares and they weren't minding their own business. But like, if you're putting on makeup, or if you're like, even have a camera out, or like whatever you're doing, no one's like, no one's like, you know, looking that hard. Like, I feel like everyone's like kind of in their own headspace, or like have their own agenda, or like just on the go. No one really cares what you're doing. Like, you don't really stand out that much. I feel like, well, with foreigners you do-ish, I guess, depending on what area you are in Seoul or in Korea. It's like everyone's like minding their business and like in their own flow, which I appreciate it. But when you're Black, you're never alone. The last thing I want to tell you is to try to learn the Korean number system. Personally, I feel like it's really helpful to know native Korean up until like 10. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. I could be wrong. I mess up that all the time. Like learning those, like the native Korean number system, like just by going up to 10 is perfect. For my opinion, I feel like Sino-Korean is like super easy, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, I did that like, I love Sino. I also feel like you should take the time to understand Korean money. Korean won, which is like the Korean currency and Korean money. You know, baek won, 100 won, 1,000 won, 1,000 won, man won, 10,000 won. Let's say you were going to one of those like Korean markets and like you're trying to buy hot dog, and the vendor is like, okay, the total is 3,000 won, and you're like looking at your Korean money like, just knowing what they are communicating to you in terms of like their numbers system wise, and knowing what they're saying when it's like it's time to pay. I mean, if you got that card, you can use that tap or whatever when you're Korea, fine. But when you have Korean won and like they only accept Korean won, you gonna need that Korean system. You gonna need to know that number, okay? So just learning that makes a huge difference. So this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching it till here. And before I let you go, I wanna let you know that you do not need to be fluent in Korean. You don't have to know everything I listed in this video, but at least knowing hi, goodbye, and thank you for any language of the country that you're going to will just enhance your experience. Practicing these phrases every day, saying them every day, remembering the context in which you use them will really help your experience. I really hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'm a girly who loves Korean culture. I'm also going to be going to Korea very, very soon. I'm nowhere near fluency at all, but I love that I'm able to understand a little bit of colloquial conversational Korean, and that means a lot to me. And so I know that when I go to Korea, I'll be able to have an even better experience than I had prior. So if you want to come on my journey, if you want to learn more about my experience when I'm abroad in Korea, or just like as a fellow bestie who's also just very interested in Korean culture and Korean language, definitely subscribe. And I have videos right here that go over my love for Korean culture. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!